Miss Davis, how you doing there? We in the building.
You're locked into the vault with Donta Myles on fire. 716 Radio. Let's go.
What's popping? What is popping on this Good Friday evening, man? Listen, I was I kind of tightly booked myself with with this insurance. I actually had a prezo. What's going on, Brian? I see y'all. I actually had a prezo before, and sometimes that happens. It's just like you just don't be thinking when you're in the zone. But beyond all that, I am here, right? So
Mhm.
we are here. Let's get to business. I'm here with the big boss man.
What's happening? What's
Was
happening? What's
yes,
happening? What's
sir.
happening? What's
All
happening? What's
day, every
happening?
day,
All
all
day.
day, every day, twice on Sunday. We here at Fire 716 Radio. So we want you to do is we're gonna have you guys before we handle any other business, before we talk about anything. Let's make sure that not only do you share Fire 716 Radio with your friends, your family. What's going on, Calvin? I see you. Um, and go download the app. Don't be saying y'all gonna do it and then not do it. Okay. All right. So listen. My guess he's on his way. He just he's a businessman, so he handling business. So I just have to at the end of the day, y'all with me for a moment. So I'm glad that y'all here. So I'm just gonna sit back and kick back and shoot the breeze with y'all a little bit. To yes, what's today? Today's Friday. So
Mhm.
2 days ago, we started back a circus.
Mm.
City council. We just had our first meeting of the month.
Mm.
Um, we had about 28 agenda items. Uh, so it's campaign season, y'all. So
Mhm.
you know what's gonna happen, y'all. Just prepare yourself for the circus, man. It's just you know, I'm just hoping that we start moving forward in a positive manner. Oh,
Right.
a lot of stuff has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell you one of the a beautiful thing that has taken place, and I'm glad that I was able to kind of usher it in a little bit, is a Stanford program that is in the Niagara Falls High School
Mhm.
system
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
Um, my guy, it's another guy, it's another Dante. So just so you know, Dante Richardson and Mr. Jody Anderson. Now they are two brothers
Mhm.
that are they're connected, highly connected with Cornell University
Wow.
and Stanford, and they worked in New York City, and Dante actually moved back to Niagara County. Um, in many ways, they people like there are some people that can actually see the value, see all of the potential in the city,
Mhm.
and what's going on, Marquita. Um, and so with that being said, he reached out to me. He was trying to do reaching out prior to, and got some of the red tape. He ran into some of our city's red tape,
Yeah.
and so with that being the case, he reached out to me because he know how I give it up. He know I'm about getting things done in the city. You know what I mean? And and me and him and Jody, we connected, and we was able to
Fellas, what's going
what's
on,
going
sir?
on, boss. Let me
Cool.
tell you something. Let me hold on. Let me change my situation up real quick because this who just walked in the building. Hey, Mr. Sean John,
What's happening?
what's
What's
going
happening?
on,
What's
baby?
happening? Hey,
So
what's good, my
yeah,
guy?
man, my guy, brother, how
Cool.
are you,
All
man?
right, all right.
Listen, I was just telling him a little bit about what this program that we just got started over at the high school. It's a tech program, man. Now we got these kids, bro. We got them squared away with Stanford University. So Stanford, for those of you who don't know, Stanford University, that's in California,
That's a big university.
huge,
Big
right?
university. They're big boys.
Those cats are going to. They got it set up now where we got curriculum, artificial intelligence, and computer science courses from Stanford, taught by Stanford fellows educators, to our students on high school campus.
That's big right there.
When they get, and the crazy part is that when this is the part that I love about it, when they get that credit, they don't only get college credit. They get that college when they pass the course. They get that college credit on a Stanford University transcript. They can utilize that anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
That's huge.
So I was shooting them a line, letting them know what was going on. So that's what's going on with your boy. I haven't been just voting on stuff at City Hall, but listen, let me shoot a line. I'm gonna switch this camera over here to Mr. Sean John. Man, how you doing, my good brother?
I'm good, man. I just want to say, like, I don't know if the people listening understand what that is, but AI intelligence from Stanford University. I mean, Google is Stanford University out in California on the West Coast. That's a big university.
Right.
And to be a kid in Niagara Falls High School, to be taught by Stanford kids about AI, that's crazy. That's big right there. That's huge, man. That's good, Taylor.
So that's what I've been trying to see. My thing is that I a lot of stuff I move in silence, and I ain't trying to make it political. Like I tell everybody, I still got 2 years whether you like it or not. I'm around, but my thing is that instead of me just being a councilman that just vote on what's brought to me, I'm gonna research. I'm gonna go out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna touch and I'm gonna connect with people, resources, and to get our youth another alternative. You feel me? So listen, and enough about me. I'm put back on my man right here. Listen, I see that. So if you can open up that jacket real quick, what'd that say? See there here, Quality Motors of Western New York, right? Tell them a little bit about that and how that vision came about, my brother.
So it's a used car dealership. We sell cars, we fix cars, we repair cars. Recently, we just blessed. Shout out to AG Towing. He blessed us. He looked out for us. He sold his tow truck. So we do tows now. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Automobile services where we do repairs, details, sell cars, fix cars.
Right.
And it actually came to me by accident. It was formerly Jacobs Towing, Tom Jacobs Towing.
Right.
And I was friends with Little Tom, and we talked a little bit about the building, worked out a deal, ended up buying it. I initially, as you know, well, anybody who know me know my bread and butter is real estate. That's what I do, Dreamborn Property Management. I've been doing it since 2010. All things real estate, buy, sell, flip, rent, Airbnb, all the above.
Speak on it.
So I originally bought the building as a real estate avenue because I thought it was a good property to have in my portfolio. And I grew up in this area, and I played across the street at Girl Creek my whole life, and I used to always see that building. So when it came available for sale, I ended up snatching it. And then once I snatched it, more or less was like, all right, well, what to do with the building? I've been around repairs my whole life. I've been around car sales my whole life. Shit, let's turn it back into what it used to be.
That's right.
That's that.
Sweet deal, man. Listen, that's called get it done. That's one thing I can appreciate about what it is that you do, man. Is getting it done. And one thing about it is what I can appreciate it from two different standpoints is, yes, I am city councilman. And as a resident and as a father, actually a few different standpoints. And just as a tax-paying citizen is that it's somebody that look like me that's willing to go out and get it done, make it happen, and show how tangible it is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, you investing back into the city.
Absolutely.
That's big because you could have took your money anywhere.
And absolutely, it's crazy. Speaking of those things, so like I go to a lot of places. Like, I know about Stanford. I'm out in Cali a lot, LA, San Diego. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in Miami. I'm in all these different places. I got a lot of friends that's in Buffalo, and they be doing things within the city. And it's crazy because they always say to me, they be like, yo, the amount of money that you put into this or the amount of money that you put into that, like living in a city such as Niagara Falls, you never get it back out of there. You get what I'm saying? You can take the same amount of money and take it even across the bridge over to Buffalo, and it's like, is the economy over there a little bit better? You know what I mean? They got a little bit better paying job, the population bigger, wherever the case may be. So, of course, when you put money into a place that got a better economy and a bigger population, you're going to get more money back out of it. But like I replied to them, I understand that and I could, but for me, of course, money make the world go around, right? That's we all need money to live,
right?
But it's just not all about the money. Like,
right.
I believe in the city of Niagara Falls, and I want to see it grow, and I believe it could be that like exactly what it takes. I don't know, but I think it take more the politicians, the people, and everybody sticking together, and I don't know, just developing some type of economical wealth around this place. And
Right.
that's what I like to do. I like to put back into the city and hopefully one property at a time. See the city look good again. Because I remember when I was a kid, I don't particularly remember it because I was young, but I remember how they say how Main Street used to look, how East
Popping,
Falls used to
falls,
look,
yeah.
and all these things. And it'd be like, I really don't remember it, but it's like I can picture it and I can imagine it. And
Right.
shit, let's get it back to that. Let's stop talking about how it used to look and let's get it back to let's get it back to looking how it used to look.
Right, right. And that's one of the biggest things I'm gonna tell you. You know, my dad, he tells me about that a lot. We talk about it, and he told me about the heyday of Niagara, the when he said, yo, his thing was, he was like, Main Street used to be like a little New York City. He said, like, you go at 1-2 o'clock in the morning and the businesses were open and there were wall to wall people. Like, it was almost like the city that never slept, right? And so, of course, it's not gonna look exactly how it looked back then, but however, being that it was the far as the thriving was here, so you're not what you're doing, you're not building something that wasn't never here. It's not like you got this grand idea and we're walking in the middle of a desert trying to build a city. No, we're in a space right now where we're building and we're trying to create something that the next generation can actually grab a hold of and stick around. Because true story, man, I got a ninth grader. Oh, man, I don't even know how to feel about that. I got a high schooler right now, but 4 years from now, she's gonna be graduating, and I really would like for her to even like. I would like Niagara Falls to be in a position that it would even be something that she would want to stick around to invest in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, and it's gonna take work. You know what I mean? We get it. But like you said, it's going to take a cohesive like measure between community, our local governing body, our local governing body. Here's one of the biggest things. Once we get it together, I think that's where state will actually start taking us a little bit more serious. Right now, the state is considering Niagara Falls a joke because we have so much circus going on, man, when it comes down to our local politics. And so our thing is how do we create that cohesiveness? I'm all about reaching out. I'm all about, listen, from one side of the town to the next, you know what I'm saying? But I think everybody has to be willing to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What you got to say about that, boss man?
I think that you're gonna have to teach them because you're trying to create a culture that we're not accustomed to. We see it outside the city. We see Buffalo. We see these other cities, but it's like literally the mindset has to be altered or changed. But to do that, somebody has to be willing to teach them,
right,
and show them and give them proof. I say it all the time. We're a little bit country. Where the proof at? Where the evidence at?
Right.
Don't talk to me the game, but I don't. You don't represent it.
Yeah.
And what happens is, and I talked about this with a photographer recently, that outside of here, you can get accolades. Outside the city, they're gonna support you. They're gonna go crazy, but sometimes you're too familiar. We know you.
Right.
But sometimes they don't realize. Listen, what I'm offering to y'all right now is, for example, even with I own a car lot.
Right.
It's like, man, if we really get in there, sales people get in there, and we support our own, and that is what he just said out of his mouth is, I support the city.
Right.
That means that's money to us.
Right.
That money circulates to
right.
us. The radio station and media, that's money circulates for
right.
us. I'm not running out here to, flexing out here. It runs here, but you gotta teach that.
Right.
And it's just exhausting. We'll take a TikTok video and go do anything the TikTok said. But when somebody right here, like, yo, listen, I own the business, I got it running.
Come support.
But then, like you said though, but are they willing to sit down to listen? I can have a teacher, but if there's no students to teach,
right?
Now, to jump in on that a little bit, as you say, like the people, they definitely got to be willing to support. You don't get nowhere without people support.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So here it is. You can own a million things. If you ain't got somebody come to spend $1 with you, it means nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, even bigger than people, you need people to support. You need good people around you when it comes to business.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
that's going to be in it with you and it's going to run it with you and run it the proper way.
Yeah.
Because people that come from where we come from and how we look, we got a bad stigma about ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Like we don't know how to run businesses or like we don't know what we're doing or we seem unprofessional or that. But that's really not the case. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And like we got to change that stigma and like really educate the people on like we just as professional as everybody else is.
Absolutely.
Right.
You selling a product, you stand behind the product you sell.
Absolutely.
And another thing is too, we gotta like a lot of people like they might own something like, yeah, I own this and I want you to work for me, I want you to work for me, I want you to work for me. Like that really ain't the place to go. Like me, the way I try and do my business, the way I run, like I said, it's a 3-part business. Well, actually it's a 4-part business, meaning we just got a tow truck, right? So we have a detail shop. And the way I tell everybody who work for me, right? Like I ain't gonna say you work for me. Like I'm not looking for employees. I'm looking for business partners, people who willing to grow. Like you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now here it is. I have this space right here that we can use the detail center to provide. Now,
Right.
I'm not paying you to every car that come in. I'm gonna pay you this or I'm gonna pay you this an hour. No, let's go out together and let's do let's get the customers. And now let's work out a percentage. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You only eat what you kill. So now
Right.
here it is. If it ain't no customers coming in to watch these, did you watch these cars with? I don't get paid. You don't get paid. So
Right.
now that forces you in more of a position to be a boss, where it's like this is your own self-sustained business that you got.
Right.
So now it forces you to go out and get your own clients and your own clientele. And now you just give me a percentage of what you work, and I'm providing the space.
Right.
Same thing for the retail. Same thing for the mechanic shop and repair shop. Same situation going for the car sales. The same thing I tell people the car sales. Here
Right.
we go. I use all my money out of pocket and I'll buy the cars. You sell the cars, you get a percentage off the cars. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And then recently a tow truck. Like I grew up, my best friend. We grew up together, whatever the case may be. He been driving for AAA for 4, 5, 6 years, whatever. Like good old employee, never
Right.
calling sick, never miss work, none of that. Like bust his ass for them. And as a worker, that's how you're supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But as I explained to him is, yo, you don't got to do this for AAA. You can do this for yourself.
Right.
Yo, I can go buy a tow truck and I can put you in it. And the same dedication, the same hard work that you put in for this for yourself. And you just give me a percentage back off the strength that I bought the tow truck and I pay the insurance and it's under my business and I do everything.
Right.
But you're going to way more than that. But what happens is I found out, because I ain't going to throw no names out there or whatever, but I had a couple people in the detail shop, whatever the case may be. It ain't really work out for them. They left. It was no hard feelings. It is what it is. But it's like, you gotta have that hustle behind you. You gotta be able to work and go out there and get the people. You can't once was washing cars and then it's like, okay, yeah, my business, I was washing cars, it was okay at first, but then I stopped doing that and I started doing something else. And now here it is, you jump back into this and you think they just go boom overnight. You really gotta put the work in. Like that's you gotta put the work in.
And I'll say this too, and I always blame even COVID, because COVID, it was that free money period where it was like, I ain't got nothing, but it's money coming to me. But now everybody's talking about being entrepreneurs and this journey. But what you're talking about is I'm providing you all a resource to get to the bag, but you got to work for it.
Right.
And I think that sometimes that effort and energy that it takes to work for it ain't there, because they think I'm media. I'm with you right here. You got to work. You got to work your podcast.
Facts.
I can record it. I can put it online, but you got to work it.
Put that time.
You got to put that time, and you got to get the people to come on the show. You got to put in that work and energy for you. I can record all day long. I got the Wi-Fi. I got the room. I got it. But that's what it's about. You got teaching them or getting people like, listen, this is what it takes to get it done. And like you said, though, with that though, some people down for it, some not. But it's really about an investment. But I believe that, and this is just my concept, if Niagara Falls is putting investment in itself downtown, it's for a reason. They're expecting an upswing.
Right.
They're expecting something to hit at some point, so they keep investing. I just read the paper about all our tourists down there killing it. I bet you they are. I bet you they are.
You already know.
Like, all right. Like, for example, you have detail. This is just me talking. This is how I think. There's no car wash, detail shop by the casino. Doesn't exist.
Right.
So my thing is, this is just to the detail. This is how I think. To the detail shop, you got to go talk to these lawyers that's downtown Niagara Falls. While you working, I'm gonna grab your car. detail it and bring it back.
Right.
There's no car wash down there. Everybody got to go to Delta Sonic and Boulevard. So I said that to say, you got to teach people and show them. They don't know.
Right.
They don't know. And that's what I'm learning. People about the hype, but you don't know what it takes
right.
to execute what you're talking about.
I'm gonna tell you, it's one of the biggest things that I like to say is, man, especially when you're trying to do your own and you're running your own, it's really you versus you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever I choose to do as a musician, as whatever everything that I do is me versus me. I have to put in time. I gotta look myself in the mirror and say, did I do everything that I needed to do to make whatever I'm doing successful? I don't care about what another musician is doing. I don't care about what my colleagues are doing. Really, like, you know, after we sit on that dais and make decisions and vote and do all of this, and you know, with me, I'm gonna raise my saying when I got to and turn over a few tables if I have to. But when I'm done doing that and I stand up and I get ready to walk off that dais, I don't care what they doing. Don't matter to me what they're doing. My thing is this: am I being the best representation for the people that voted for me and the people who didn't vote me in? Because I represent everybody. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, it's like there is that that you versus you mentality that has to take place for those people who are in business, because what happens is you too busy like checking on somebody else's money, checking somebody else, where you is so what they say 24 hours in a day, 12 to mind your business and 12 to leave everybody else's alone. The biggest thing is this: making sure that when we set something up, what makes us, you're only gonna get out what you put in. And if you don't put in that work, I'm learning that heavy with life insurance, bro. When I tell you, if you don't dial, if you don't call, if you don't put yourself out there, if you don't speak on it, if you don't just put time in, you're not gonna get leads, you're not gonna get no referrals, you ain't gonna get nothing.
And that's that thing I say. You know, like, I like opportunities like that where you only eat what you kill. You gotta go get your own work.
You got to get your own, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of people lack. You have this popcorn microwave mentality. Just because I said it and I thought about it, it should happen. First and foremost, as a musician, I'm gonna tell you one thing I tell a lot of up and coming musicians. So any of y'all that's watching, nobody owes you nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody owes you nothing. Just because I went and bought a bass and an amp, I go set up outside. Nobody owes me any attention. Mm-hmm. Nobody owes me anything. What it is you build a brand that people can trust. Absolutely. My brand is I'd rather be a half hour early than a half minute late. Mm-hmm. So that's why I get gigs. If I was to stop doing everything I was doing and say, you know what, I'm straight open, clear as an open, free agent musician, I guarantee you I'll be playing all day, all the time. Yeah. But one of the biggest things is because a good name is hard to build and easy to tear down. So with that being the case, man, you know, I commend what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it takes, you know, we have a stigma. It is such a bad narrative here, and I think we have to change our tone.
Yeah. I think that the narrative is bad because nobody taught us.
Right.
Black business here, we winging it. We've been winging it and trying to figure it out, and everybody's so in their own. Like, there's no, to my knowledge, urban Black chamber of commerce business for us. Mm-hmm. We always trying to figure out how to get an LLC. I've been doing my business for 17 years with a DBA. Mm-hmm. We haven't advanced, and we just we're trying to survive and make money. But like, where is the collective?
Right.
We said, listen, these are the steps you need: a business plan. Here's a business model. I've done it. Here's how it works. Let me help you do this. There has to be a cohesive. What I found out is everybody's in their own corner, mm-hmm. in their own pocket, trying to wing it, trying to figure it out on their own. And what happens is, if you don't have enough money to sustain yourself for a year, 2 years, you're gonna be in trouble. Right. Because you think you can get this building in this joint and it's gonna just take off. We don't work like that. It don't work like that, you know. And even unfortunately, the black hair store that was on Main Street. Yeah. Like, she had to close down, unfortunately, but it's like, dag, we ain't pulled enough attention to know that we can get here at a certain time to support. I don't know all that she's did to advertise and to promote and to push. But people in the city used to we don't know.
Right.
The east side don't know what the west side doing. Yeah. And it's like,
and we small in number. That's what I don't get sometimes too. Is the fact that we're a city of 48, and I'm giving it probably a couple thousand, but we're a city of like 48,000 people, and
somebody about to go to jail though.
Listen.
Yo, the crazy part about it, anything that's negative in the city, anything that's happening, you go to Facebook and spread it like
wildfire, man.
And then it may be like you take a John Doe for instance. He might get arrested for anything, chewing bubblegum, walking down the street too loud, whatever the case may be. And it's like they promote that, and John Doe got arrested. Yeah. And it's almost like as a stigma. As I read comments and I'm reading stats, it's like y'all sound happy.
Right. Nuts.
How's that even possible? You get what I'm saying? Like that just blows my mind. But yeah, here it is on the flip side of things. If it's something positive or somebody did this or somebody did that, it's not don't get the same type of attention. They don't get the same type of spread. They don't hit like it'd be like, I don't know, man.
The same with business. Businesses are closed, but are you paying attention to the businesses that are opening up?
Right.
Yeah, businesses are closing, but are you paying attention to the melanated people who are opening up shops?
Right.
In Little Italy, on Niagara Street, in the city of Niagara Falls.
Right.
But that's not the highlight. That's not highlighted. That's not pushed.
Let me get on here. Let me get online and put in my caption for a live. I'm about to punch this dude right in the mouth.
Oh, wow.
This will blow completely up. Let them see my camera outside moving real fast like this about to go down. I promise you, this 5, 10, 15 will turn into 500 a G in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because we glorify, and that's another thing. And that could be a whole nother show. It's what people glorify.
Yeah.
You can't glorify it on one end and then condemn it on with the same tongue. Yeah. Like if you're glorifying it because it may fit you at the time and it may be working for you, you know what I'm saying? But when it knocks at your front doorstep and it's on a negative tip, like again, I always talk about we start with our little babies. Yeah. You got your little 3-4-year-old twerking. Come and do that dance again in front of the family. Hey, yeah, look at her. But then when she on the pole, you can't get mad. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Or if she ain't doing. Let me put it this way: when she ain't doing something that you feel that she should be doing, and I've watched that happen. I watched that play out often. So I think the thing is the big thing is how what is it that we glorify? We glorify fighting. Somebody getting shot. Somebody about to get stabbed. This happened. Let me go and let me turn my live on with 15 cop cars all lit up on where. It don't matter where. It could be anywhere. You're going to see people hop in because we've gotten so accustomed to just flocking to the negative, like you say, man.
But you know what? The crazy part about it is, like, that's something we got to change for ourselves.
Right.
Because, like, I know I'm a little younger than y'all, but it's like, to me, I tell people all the time, like, we was lied to. Like, you understand what I'm saying? We was lied to. We was taught that this was cool and this wasn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? But really, that was a lie. Like, you know what I mean? So now, like, I'm in a habit now telling my people, it's like, listen, what you thought we was lied to. We ain't know no better. But I'm here to tell you, like, and here it is. I didn't know no better. I still did these things. And not to say that the generation who came before me, like, they purposely lied. They was lied to. So in turn, it was spread to us where this was cool and this wasn't. So now it's up to us to recognize and, like, be conscious and say, like, yo, this right here ain't what's up, man. We was taught to glorify this and taught to say this was cool and taught that this was up. That ain't what it is. This is really what's up. Like, building your people up is what's up. Like, promoting positivity is what's up. Like, supporting this person is what's up. Like, talking behind this person's back or hating on this person and not building that person up, like, that's not what's up. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So unity and cohesiveness when it comes down to what it is that we doing. We ain't got to be, honestly, and I always say this, for a city that is as small as our city, there's enough room for all of us to eat out here. And whatever it is that we do. Now, here's and I guess here's maybe a challenge or a charge. We bring this. No, let me go back. God is a God-given gift to this space, this area called Niagara Falls. Water that flows over a cliff. We ain't controlling that. That's a God thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Water that flows over these cliff. Only thing we doing is cutting the grass around it. Brings in 8 million people every year.
Yeah.
Instead of us fighting each other, let's find out how we're going to actually start pulling that resource. If we want to grow, we want to make, you want to hit the bag for real? Let's find out how can we, because guess what? The state of New York, that's why they silent, man. The state of New York is silent. I'm gonna tell you why. Because listen, they getting theirs. Yeah. Because everybody's going to that park. They're gonna go park their cars. They're gonna go walk around. They're gonna go to the Maid of the Mist. They're gonna go to the Cave of the Winds. They're gonna go to Three Sisters. They're gonna go to all that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so they don't have. It's already. It's kind of like cruise control. It's kind of cruise control for the state. The state go 70 to 75% of all of what we see going on down there is going directly to Albany. So they cool. While we sitting up here fighting each other over scraps, over little stuff, let's find out how we gonna band together next year and towards springtime when we know it's about that fluctuation. How we gonna start pulling that kind of tension back into our spaces?
We gotta figure out how to tap into that. And not only that, like us as a people, like gotta figure out how to tap into it. And then like the city officials, city politicians, like we all gotta come together to figure out how to tap into it. Because we want to tap into it as being residents of the city, of course, right? And get some money out of it. But at the same time, like we want the city to be able to tap into that too. Where now it's more money that comes to the city. Because how you just said, it go to Albany.
Right.
So it's not even in
It's not even here. No.
So like the city should want to tap
into that. That's
now to build more things. I don't see why. Like me personally, I don't know. Canada, they don't like my passport. They always get in trouble when I try to go over there.
Wow.
But here it is. I recently probably went over there like I want to say last November or something like that. Like I walked over to my mind was blocked. Around Clifton Hill. Like, like I'm thinking like this looked like some mini Vegas Times Square type situation. I'm like, yo, why are we not looking like that? Like it's no reason why.
Face. It's not like all of Canada is not like, matter of fact, all of Niagara Falls, Ontario is not like that. Right. It's literally the face.
There was no reason why
we can't
mimic that.
Once you go up that hill and you pass them streets, and you pass the haunted houses,
right? You're gonna see some of that darkness, some nothingness. But what they smart about is they said, okay, we're going to take advantage of the scenery. Absolutely. This is this falls, so right where people can look, see where the power is, so we can feel, almost touch it. Yeah. They got this view, right? So they're like, yo, okay, well, we ain't got the power, but yo, we're gonna take advantage of this view, and we're building everything right here. Mm-hmm. So once they get over this bridge, they don't have to do. Matter of fact, they can park their car in the hotel and they don't have to grab their car for nothing, because we're gonna make sure everything is in this space. So why is it that our Niagara Street, right over the bridge, the first street you hit into, looks the way it looks? Right. We can't blame the casino. See, there's the Mayor Ely, and I remember back in them days when she was mayor, and they didn't think that it made any sense for us to be at the table, which was weird to me anyway. But they sold our convention center for $1 to the Seneca Nations. I'm gonna show you how this works. Cause see what happens is, you got people trying to blame the Senecas on whatever the case is. At the end of the day, when they got their compact together in the contract for the Seneca, they said the Senecas basically was like, listen, cut us a break. Let us pay you here, and then we'll bring it up for more of an extended time frame. For whatever reason, our local government didn't think that the Seneca Nation was going to actually last or work here, which is crazy. So, we said, no, pay us here now. We don't care. We don't think that y'all going to last anyway. So we want all our money up front. So now when we get to this end of a contract, we're like, oh, they owe us money. They're like, no, we don't. Yo, you remember this? We had to pay you here and we're not going to pay you. So the thing is that we got greedy. There was a lot of decisions, and that's another thing, because we got to look into our history too of our governing. It's a lot of decisions, piss poor decisions that were made for decades that affect us, that some of the stuff is starting to affect us now that was made back in like 10, 20, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. Yeah, it's crazy. So I think one of the biggest things is we have to become less parochial, less narrow-minded as governing, because we got to step outside of the box. And I'm talking about our governing body. I'm talking about our mayor, our city council, our county legislators, our state assembly, our state senate, all of these cats. One, we have to actually start coming more together as a whole. Reason why, again, the state, federal is not paying us the mind that we should be, because we should be a killer. Like in the country, our city should be a staple to the country. With that being said, the reason why is they look at us like, they're the governing body is crabs in a barrel. We already, the black, the melanated folk, we already have that stigma about us anyway. But they look at Niagara Falls overall as a city of crabs in a barrel, because we know if we throw a couple of nuggets here, they're going to fight over that, and we can do whatever we want for the rest of the time. So I think that's one of the biggest things is, how do we get cohesive? How do we band together? How do we take all of our elected, I said that in the beginning of my term. I said, one of the biggest things is this. I watched, and they know, we watch how the power authority, they throw millions alley-oop right over Niagara Falls into Erie County. We don't get it. And I'm like, but hold on, the power is right here in the city. We're the ones that's powering half of the East Coast.
Right.
So with that being said, I was like, yo, when are we going to pack our duffel bag and take a trip down to Albany as a collective? The mayor, his administration, my city councilmen and women, the whole collab, our county legislators, those who represent the city of Niagara Falls in any capacity. When do we get bold enough to say, you know what? We're going to get what's ours. You ain't going to, because we have been trampled. I mean, when I say in regards to that space, because we're like, when I'm telling you, like $100 million just tossed.
And see, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Like, I ain't speaking for everybody, but I'm speaking for myself and the people that I know and the people that's around me. Most of the information that you just shared, like, we don't even know.
Yeah, yeah.
So how does it come where we can be educated on these things to even know that these is even happening?
Right,
you know
right. No, absolutely.
Or it's transparent that these type of things is happening. So now here it is. We know that it's happening, and not only now, once we know that it's happening, so now we can ask you, and you as a councilman, the rest of your councilman members, the mayor, whoever else is in charge, like, why is this happening, and what can we do about this to stop this from happening?
Right. I'm gonna tell you something. Watch this. This is a plug. That's why we do what we do here. That's why we do what we do at Fire 716, because I remember Frank said this in the beginning. He said we want to be a hub of information. We want to be a community just space where, whether it's information or training or whatever it is, space that's being utilized to help build us as a community, right? So what for me, so that's now this is just a personal plug for everybody that's listening for Fire 716, because we don't have a space that we can go to. Like, there's no billboards around here that's gonna tell what it is that we need to know in regards to what I like or what I'm just talking about. You know what I'm saying? I say what I say at City Hall. I'll say it on my live, But this, you already know, algorithm. There's only so much that Facebook is going to even allow to get out, right? I don't care, 4,600 people. I guarantee you, not a drop. Hear half of the stuff that I say is because it's so, and they're looking to make their money. So they want me to go in and, put, the share and pay the share, whatever the case is and all of that. And you still just don't know who, how much they're going to help you. So at the end of the day, it does help to have, and that's one of the biggest things that I support completely. There has to be a hub for information, a hub where we can actually advertise stuff.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes down to, that's why I push every time I open my mouth over here. I say, go to Fire 716 Radio app, download that joint. There's good content, not just the vault. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of going on, and what happens is, and so we can get into the habit of supporting to the point where it's like, and now we pull you got something going on? Yeah. Come through. It ain't about me. I don't want a piece of your pie. I want you to be able to, express what it is that what you do.
One thing that's important is that if we come together as a collective, when you eat, I eat.
Right.
Like, you said this phrase. You said it twice. Whatever you kill, you eat.
Right.
Like, legit, you can only do so much.
Right.
To the point where you can kill so much, you got to pass it on.
Right. Right.
I said it even to the photographer that was here. Listen, I get it. We got some photographers here.
Right.
Well, if you booked and busy.
Right.
On to the next, let's go. But we're so, I have to say, like, survival mode-ish.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous place to be. And I get needing to survive, but what happens is you start doing stuff just to survive, and you're not thinking long term.
Right.
Just in the moment today. But when you get a vision, like, all right, I can execute this better. I can do this better. And I think that's what we need. Like, this is hub information. That's the goal. Mm-hmm. But people still don't know I exist.
Yeah.
People still walk, and I get it, and I understand. But I also need people who do know. I need you. I can't build this alone.
Right.
He has the car lot, but he also has the towing.
Right.
Also has the detail.
Right.
He can't be the builder, the layer, the detailer, the tower, and the salesperson. I can't be all.
Right.
So I need people to come on board who's willing to partner with me to put in that work. And that's where we're having the difficulty at in the city. City Hall. Mm-hmm. I hear y'all talking out here, but y'all still ain't showed up Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Right.
To support and put pressure on these people.
Right.
And we strong. Like, if just Packer Court went, strong. If just Jordan Gardens went, strong. But if 4 people from the community, from every block club out here, strong. No, we're not okay with this decision. And we packing the house out and don't nothing move until we say we okay with it.
Right.
But that takes, yes, it's an inconvenience. Yes, it takes your time. Yes, it takes your energy. But you won't change it all.
Right. Right. Like, change requires change.
Absolutely.
I tell everybody that a lot. I be like, listen, at the end of the day, you have to.
Something slick. They don't anyway.
Yeah, right. You already know.
I'm gonna say,
go ahead. No, you good.
Now, naturally so, with the melanin skin of who we are, they're already clinching their purses. They're already, imagine the force of us just being present and saying that we don't agree with the decision that you're trying to make for our city. You got to check your vote.
Right. You
got to check how you move. Because I got 400 people out here talking about, no, that's not okay. That's not what we want.
Right. I
got 400 people talking about, no, this is what we need. This is what struggles we're having. Let's go. And I put weight on my churches as well. Like, what is y'all doing?
Right.
Like we've gotten lax. We've gotten lazy. We've gotten
comfortable. Yeah.
But we complaining.
And the first to complain.
So it's just work to be done.
Oh, that's real. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you what. Anything that we do, it takes a sacrifice. I'm gonna just be 100% with you. If you want a better body, you're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to hit the gym. And guess what? It's gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? Everything is you're not gonna get immediate gratification in anything. And I'm just naming that. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. If you're looking for immediate gratification, it's false. It's generic.
It was crazy. And I'll say this: people look at TikTok and social media and these videos, in these 30-second clips, and be like, "Oh, That was quick and easy. No, even that takes
Took time,
I
right?
gotta get it. I gotta grab it. I gotta cap cut it. I gotta add it. If you have the illusion that you're just getting ready to get into this bag by some miracle out of the sky, you have lost your mind.
Complete mind.
You have to put in work. You got to put in time, and you got to sacrifice. And I'm learning that as an entrepreneur. Listen, for his business, sometimes you got to be the detailer just because you know what I got to show you that it can be done.
Right.
I got to be the tower just because I got to show you that it can be done. But I'm not supposed to be doing all of it.
Right.
But it requires the people, and I just need them to get on board to this movement. If not, they'll be left behind again.
Yeah.
Especially on this, even with our children, with the AI technology.
Right.
Niagara Falls has been left behind the 8 ball after the industry crash. When industrial work started to decline, and Niagara Falls did not advance. They kept trying to save a dying industry.
Yep.
So we got all these plants and polluted grounds out here, and now we're behind the 8 ball. We got to catch up in technology. We got to catch up with the movement, and the people of the city of Niagara Falls, not just black folks, the city in its totality, got to get on board to a real plan. If not, it's going to just be downtown looking trash, looking amazing, and 2 blocks over trash.
Looks like garbage. No, that's facts.
And we let it, and I say this, we allow it to happen. We, as the people, are not putting pressure.
You know it. You know it.
Because we're not putting the pressure on the government.
Yeah.
And if you said it earlier today. You said, I got to make phone calls. I got to dial to get people just to get life insurance. I got to check up on them.
Yeah.
Put that pressure on this government. What you doing today?
Right.
What you got to go? Where you at today?
Right.
What's your agenda? What's your plan?
Right.
You got to get to the meetings. Know what's going on. But everybody's going to complain.
Knowledge. I'm going to tell you something. Knowledge is so key when it comes down. And that's one of the main things that I focus on when it comes down to City Hall. I ask everybody to come just so you can know what's going on. Because what happens is by the time that shovel hit the dirt, it's too late. There's nothing you can do about it. When the shovel hit the dirt, I don't care if it's in front of your house. That means it's already been through the planning board. It's been through the zoning board of appeals. It's already been through, if it's an event, it's been through the event committee. And then guess what? By the time it makes it to us, most of the time, if you're not the person that seeks out and does its due diligence to find out the details of something like how I like to do, if you're already kind of like, hey, it already passed here,
They just agree to it.
they're just gonna agree to it because it's already done. So, but before all of that happens, there's usually a public hearing.
Yeah. Oh.
That's why I tell people.
Chloe Long said, we the people of Niagara Falls need reciprocity. Now we're being drained.
So I'm gonna tell you,
you gotta go get it. Like
you got, yeah.
Like for reciprocity to be present, we want somebody just to give it to us. You got to listen. You got to go get this.
Yeah.
You got to go get it with some force and authority.
Yeah.
You can't say, "Oh, give me what you owe me." No, JG Wentworth, this is my money. I need it now. You got to go after what it is that you believe you deserve,
Right.
Not just for you, but for your family, for your community, for your future. Like,
right.
I'm just over it. I'm an entrepreneur, so I get the struggle, and I get it.
And what I like to tell people is like you can't say no. Like you got to be optimistic.
Yeah.
To me,
valid.
Like people, like even like people I'm in business with, this and that, they always be like, "Oh, nah." Like say for instance, you take a deal, you trying to make a deal, you be like, "Oh, nah, that person ain't gonna do that." What do you mean that person ain't gonna do that? Did that person tell you wasn't gonna do that? Like,
right.
For me, it's yes.
Right.
It's yes.
Right.
Until it's absolutely no.
Right.
And even then, in the back of my mind,
it's gonna be yes.
I still think that it's gonna be a yes to me. Maybe not right now, but it's gonna be a yes later. So you got to be optimistic with people.
And to that point is because if you deliver your message as pity and without confidence, ain't nobody trying to invest in that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told one person, you've already projected your failure. Like,
right.
You went into this with it, oh, this is not going to work. No, be quiet. No, somebody had an event recently. I said, no, you're going to do the event. Anybody buying tickets? So you're going to do the event.
Right.
And you're going to have an amazing event. They're going to be mad they missed out. Did the event, numbers did proper.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't quit. You can't go into this thing with the attitude that, oh, they're going to say no. No, it's a yes.
Because that's been the vocals in our community for a long time. Oh, black people ain't gonna do this. They ain't gonna never get. When I hear that, I'm like, what? Wait. I'm like, oh, black people ain't going to vote. I said, well, did you vote? Oh, you didn't. So why don't you go vote and change that narrative immediately? Maybe you wouldn't have voted, but guess what? If you go down there, you've just changed one portion of that whole narrative by you actually. Same way, black people ain't going. I heard someone. I was up here trying to really pull people together. It was like I don't know if it's at the School of Thought or whatever. And I'm talking, and then this young lady, I'll leave her name nameless, was like, "Oh, black people ain't gonna never come together." And I'm just like, "Yo, do you understand the power of the tongue? Do you speak this stuff into the existence? You speak this stuff into the atmosphere, the you know what I'm saying, the universe, whatever we want to call it."
And on the thought of that young lady here again, she probably said that because she was so used to, like, people so used to saying that, and people just talk to us like, once again, we was lied to.
Right.
You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
And let a lie be a lie. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I know we can be on this all day, and I know we at the tail end of the joint. We got a couple minutes left. So listen, I man, at any given time, my good brother, you can feel free to come back, man. We can wrap it up. We can wrap at any time, man. We're here every Friday at 5. So if you got time, man, shoot me a line at again, and we'll set this up, because this is good. This right here is good convo. This is stuff that needs to be heard. This is stuff that needs to be said. And yeah, man.
And it's crazy because here it is. Like, I'm right down the street from you. I'm literally a block from you. I don't even know this was here. So when you're saying, like, come to such it reminds me, this is the first podcast I've ever been on. People been trying to get me on.
Yay!
And everything forever, but like I never went on one because I just don't know. Like, people be having hidden agendas. They be want to ask you crazy questions, try to all types of stuff. It be like
jam you up.
Yeah, it just don't be for me. But this is cool, laid back.
This how it is, man. Yes, sir.
Literally right down the street. Like
right,
I said,
man.
When you called me earlier and confirmed, I was at the shop.
Oh, right.
So then I didn't even really look at the address at first. But then I looked at it. I'm like, 3016. That's a block away.
Right. It's right down the street. Yo, but at the end of the day, that's what I want to. I appreciate what you're doing, man. Just keep up, man. If you got a word for the people before we shut it down?
Nah, man, not really. Just promote positivity, support everybody, but mainly really support your own. We got to get behind each other and like really push the ball for each other. Whatever somebody got going on, get behind them. Like, if some information you got to share, don't withhold it, pass it out there, do whatever we can to help people. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely. Big boss man.
At this point, you can sit where you are, and I said this earlier, to say it again. Your presentation has to change, period.
Right.
As long as you stay where you've been and keep operating in that same vein, you get the same results.
Right.
You can't stay where you've been talking about, I want better, I want more. You got to change your delivery. You got to change your presentation. You got to change how you talk. You have to advance now.
Right.
And you got to do it now, because I'm over your complaining.
Right.
Let me help you. Nobody is giving you anything for nothing without seeing the value of what you're worth.
Right.
Even Jesus, God himself,
mm-hmm.
He said, "Acts," but you got to put work in for faith.
Right.
So what you're asking for, what you believe in God for, faith that works is dead. You just can't not work. I don't know what this illusion is.
Well, I always say this. I always say that spirituality without practicality is a dead end. If you don't do the practical things, there's things that you're gonna have to put your hands to. There's the plow that you're gonna have to put your hands to see. And if you don't plant a seed, don't expect something to grow. Yeah. That's just like that. That's just nature. That's just the law of it. You know what I mean? So, for me, that what you said was a good word, bro. Like, we have to promote positivity. We have to, and we can't if we choose what it is whatever we choose to do. Mentally, it starts up here. It's a mentality. We have to change how we think. We have to change how we feel about each other. We have to change how we feel about our brothers and our sisters. We got to change how we treat each other overall. At the end of the day, I think love recovers a multitude of faults and sins and all that other stuff. I don't know, I got to get brush up in the word or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, man, we should be here for each other. At the end of the day, I think we'll we'll grow together. If we grow together, we'll be better together. We'll move together. We'll be moving in more syncopation. So
teach one.
That's right.
Watch the other. They both watch the face.
Come through. I like that. I like it. Listen, it's your boy Donta, aka D Belly, aka Tank, aka your city councilman. Listen, thank you, man. I appreciate you for coming through, Mr. Sean John and Quality Motors. Y'all go check my man out, man. Absolutely. Hey, and give him the address because I want to make sure that people know.
327 Hyde Park Boulevard. Quality Motors is WNY. And just because you don't see it on the lot, that don't mean we can't get it. So if you don't see it and you want it, you come in, we do special orders and get you ready.
Yes, sir. And we also always have my man here, Mr. Boss Man, Mr. Frank Hanley.
Yes, sir. Fire 716 Radio. Make sure you download the app. It's a free app. Fire 716, R&B, hip hop, 24/7. Rock with your boy. It's going down. Your next podcast, holler at me. Commercials, holler at me. We do this.
Yeah, we do all of that. So listen,
you got a voice for radio.
You sure do. Right. Straight off the radio rip, right? All right, fam. Listen,